Istanbul, Turkey. Locked away in the archives at the Topkapi Palace Museum is a piece of gazelle skin with a fragment of an intricately drawn world map on it. This highly accurate representation of the globe is the work of an Ottoman cartographer, Admiral Piri Reis, and dates back to 1513 AD. Incredibly, the map depicts Antarctica, which was not officially discovered until 260 years later by British explorer Captain James Cook. And even more startling, it depicts the continent as it would look without any ice.
Piri Reis claimed that the map that he had was a finished product of other maps that he collected, and all of this information from the other maps was transferred into this one Piri Reis map. What's so fascinating about this map is that it shows Antarctica without the ice.
The question that naturally arises is, well, who made these maps? If they show the Antarctic coastline prior to being under the ice. Piri Reis was able to get access to ancient records, and we're not clear exactly where they were, but possibly the Vatican. The Vatican Library has extensive ancient records, and I would imagine that Admiral Piri Reis had access to some of these maps. So this supports that Antarctica was known to the ancient world prior to it being in its present location under 2 miles of ice.
It shows the actual landmass of Antarctica exactly as it is under ice. And so you have to ask the question, how was that done? You have two options. These maps were gleaned from people who had access to radar technology. And if that is the case, then one has to argue it is extraterrestrials, because who else would have satellite technology 1,000 or 2,000 years ago? Another option is, what if this map was drawn during a time when the Antarctic was not under ice, implying that Antarctica was not at the South Pole at the time when that map was drawn?
The main proponent of this theory was Charles Hapgood, a history professor at Springfield College in Massachusetts, when he first heard about the paradox of the Piri Reis map. In his 1958 book, Earth's Shifting Crust, Hapgood argued that Antarctica was ice-free prior to a catastrophic crustal displacement that occurred at the end of the last ice age, approximately 12,000 years ago.
Hapgood's idea of crustal displacement was that in the relatively recent past, Antarctica was in a much more temperate zone, and that it just shifted and moved very suddenly into the frozen area.
Mainstream scientists agree that continents do drift and that Antarctica was once in a warmer latitude. But they insist it took millions of years to reach the South Pole. Hapgood said it took days, even hours.
Hapgood was saying that the thin crust of the Earth is able to slip forward on the mantle, and this causes huge cataclysmic changes. There are tidal waves, earthquakes, and suddenly land masses that aren't at, say, the North Pole or the South Pole find themselves there.
If Hapgood's theory is correct, could an ancient alien civilization that once flourished in a warm Antarctica have been destroyed by a catastrophe? And if so, is evidence finally coming to light in the form of mysterious structures emerging from the ice?